Welcome to Winning with the Burns, a podcast for highly ambitious people who have a burning desire to learn what it takes to win at a high level.
All right, guys, welcome to Winning with the Burns today. Our last few podcasts, we don't really talk about our business a whole lot, but today we're just going to open it up and talk shop about, what it is that we do. We got a young guy that has come on board and just is absolutely killing it. When I say killing it. He graduated from college in May. He's an ex-college basketball player, and we're just going to go back and forth today and talk about what we do, some of the ups and downs that he has had in the first 90 days of the business. So hopefully, if you've got some interest in what we do, hopefully you'll learn today and reach out to us about what we do. But Mina,
I do have questions for the both of you guys. I want to pick apart your guys' minds, how you got to this point. Kind of want to, like I said, mentally. How much of this business is mental, like your mindset, like when you go into, say, an appointment or to get your license or anything like that for somebody that's first coming in? Because I don't want them to underestimate and have too much on their plate. Mentally, like the mental side, how much of that is put into this business, you would say?
I look back and I think about how much I didn't know when I signed up to take my course. I was working a full-time job, and I had to go 2 days a week, twice, back-to-back weekends to do my 40-hour course. It was on a Friday and Saturday. And I had to take off work those Fridays to go do it. And I look back at it, and I realized how much I didn't know. Like, there was a guy in school. And so when I got into the business, I knew I was all in with it. I didn't know what type of insurance we were selling. I just knew what I was told I could make from a financial aspect. And also the most important piece was my time. I knew that I wasn't going to be putting in the amount of hours I was at my regular job. So, and I can just correlate it to how my thought process was then. And I'll never forget, there was a guy in there who's like, what type of insurance are you going to be selling? I was like, I don't know. All I know is I'm going to be making about $1,500 a week. He was like, son, you need to be very careful. You need to know what type of insurance you're going to be selling. And like, he planted a seed of doubt in my mind. I was like, man, this is an older guy, I respected him. And I was like, man, I don't know. I just had in my mind, I'm doing this. I got to knock the course out so I can go make money. And so I don't think you need to overthink it. You got to be in business with the right people. Your relationships is everything. Being in business with the right folks. We got so much good going right now. Somebody can get on one of our calls and see the type of people that are winning on a consistent basis. That ought to sell them enough. But I just know how I was. I was like, I'm in, so I got to get this course knocked out so I can start making money. I think the right people will have that mentality. I think the ones that overthink it, that are, worried about this, worried about that, I don't think they'll ever think out. I just had a one-track mind of I'm all in with it, and I'm going to get the course knocked out so I can go make some money.
Yeah, I fully understand that. I want to know your side of it too, JB.
Well, you said it earlier. You said it. I had belief in my work ethic.
Yeah. You
had belief. That's what it boils down to is, do you believe what you're doing is going to be right for you? Regardless if someone says, you really want to sell? Regardless if someone says, you really want to be straight commission? Regardless if someone says, man, I don't know about that. You better find out what you're going to be like. If you can be taught out of it, it wasn't for you. So it went back to the belief level. So mindsets for us is everything. Like if you don't believe in it, number one, you don't believe in yourself, it ain't going to work. Then number two, if you don't believe in the model that you're doing, which obviously I'm a little biased, but I feel like we have the absolute best sales model and promote yourself model in the industry, bar none, because there's nobody that invests time in the agents like we do, because we understand what it's like to not have help. We understand what it's like to have a chargeback. We understand what it's like. We're not so far separated from that because we're in the fight every day still selling. Mm-hmm. That way we can help. We had to learn the virtual. So that has put us back in the game to where we know what it's like to get hit in the mouth. So we can meet people where they're at, not where we want them to be.
Yeah.
We're not talking about what we did 10, 15 years ago. We're talking about what we did today. When I first got into it, my mother-in-law, I was about to get engaged. I wasn't engaged yet. So it was she wasn't my mother-in-law then, but she's my mother-in-law now. She actually sat me down when she found out I was getting into the insurance business. I
Really?
was like, Nick, are you sure you want to do this? You've got a good job. You've got health insurance, So you'll have people along the way that will try to talk you out of it. And to JB's point, man, if somebody can talk you out of it,
Yeah.
then you don't need to be here.
Yeah.
It's a belief level. There was I may get in trouble for saying this, but there was a high school coach, a local high school coach, that came, here to LaGrange, and I thought the guy was an idiot. I did. I mean, I saw him run a practice. I saw the way he talked to the kids. I saw where he was previously. I was like, man, this guy is never going to make it. And I was telling one of my mentors, I was like, man, this guy ain't going to make it. And he stopped me. He said, you may not think he's a good coach. He said, heck, I might not even think he's a good coach. But if those players believe in him, they'll start winning, And so the power of belief is everything. We've got belief systems. We all have certain belief systems. What you believe matters. And the moment you lose belief, it's just a matter of time for negative things to happen. It's like me and JB were talking earlier about a lead. Man, if somebody can believe in a lead, no matter how good or how bad that lead is, they'll have success off that lead because their belief is in it, and belief is one thing. So I think when people can come on, if they can believe in it, and and we have great examples for people to believe every day. There's a leaderboard. There's calls every day. They see the success of individuals, so, but I think belief is really a huge attribute for somebody to make it in this business. You got to have belief.
Yeah, and that was going to roll into my next real smooth about how athletes are so good in this business. Kind of talk about, well, one, why they're so good at it, and two, the mental aspect you just explained, how it correlates to an athlete playing a sport, or why it correlates so well to this business as well.
Yeah, I think an ex-athlete, especially an ex-college athlete, they have the attributes to be successful in this business, because typically if you go to the next level, whether it be, NAIA, D3, JUCO, D2, D1 athletics, you were probably pretty good on your high school team. You grew up, you were good on your rec teams, you got to play at the high school level. You're one of the top people on your team, whatever sport you played. But when you get to college, it's a whole different ballgame. You got guys that are as good and guys that are better than you and guys that freaking outwork you, so reality comes, you realize you're not as good as you thought you were. And I think those that get kicked a little bit in college or even have success at college, they know how to compete. If you know how to compete and you know how to put in the time and work, and you're coachable, again, we're back to that coachable word, coachable and have a work ethic. I think those are big attributes for you to have success.
Yeah, I was talking to one of my good friends, and we were talking about how I was like, I'm good. I wouldn't want to bring in a star player. I'd rather bring in a role player, somebody that's know what it's like to give around to their team. Of course, star players are good, but some of them work hard to get where they're at. Other of them is just natural. And like for this business, do you think of a lot of it as natural? I think it's more just working hard. Like
it's work ethic. Yeah. I mean, talent may give you a little bit more of an edge sometimes if you work. But again, it goes back to that no talent code. I mean, God, I can write down a list of people that when they walked in the door, I was like, I don't think they're going to make it. Heck, you were one of them.
Oh, I sure was.
I told JB, I was like, man, I don't know.
JB,
I don't know, man.
Y'all did it. Yeah,
you trimmed up that beard finally, But no, you again, you can't go back to judge what's in somebody. But I can write down a list of people that, man, they're never going to make it. And fast forward 18 months, 2 years, they're top 10 in the company because they go to work. They have more shots. They have more at-bats. That's all the leaderboard is people that have the most appointments. At the end of the week, the people that are on the leaderboard when it comes to applications, those are the ones that have the most appointments, and they're consistent with it.
Yeah. So you guys both did door-to-door, which I would probably never do. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's insane. How do you talk about like the virtual process now and how important, would you go back to door-to-door?
If I
Just-
had to,
yeah,
if I had to, I would. But because of the efficiency of us being virtual now, to where we're not confined to a geographical location, we're not, our paycheck is not dependent on the gas prices and inflation and all that mess. We're just more efficient now. But if we had to go back face to face, you know, I just think that winners are going to win it no matter what.
Yeah.
You're going to figure it out. But
Yeah.
I think that for us now, again, it's more efficient to where I can help a family out in Michigan. I can help a family in Texas. I don't have to drive to see them face to face. Just more efficiency.
Yeah.
I can see more people in a day and a half than it would take me 3 or 4 days going face to face. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It goes back to, you don't know what you don't know. We didn't. I mean, even when COVID hit, and I heard about people doing it virtually, I was like, man, there's no way the people I saw face to face are going to get on video.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just another tool to use, as JB said, to make it more efficient. You still got to go to work. You know, you still have to meet with the people. That's all door to door was. You had to knock on enough doors. And once you got in the door, you know, it was about a 60% closing rate. Same thing with this. If you sit with them, it's about a 50 to 60% closing rate. The numbers are the same. It's just booking the appointments and sitting with them. It's just, again, it's the principles of winning are the same across the board. They'll never go away. You know, you got to put in the time.
Yeah. And as far as like the virtual, because you guys have gotten a lot better, you ramped up the social media aspect. Talk about, especially in this day and age, how important, as far as building a team, is the social media aspect. Because I was one of them. I guess I was in between. I'm not big with social media and I'm still learning, but kind of like building a team through social media and how important that is.
It's just marketing. So marketing is just introducing yourself to the world. You know, you can have the best product out there, but if nobody knows what you're doing, what good is being the best at what you do? So we're just trying to use technology to catapult it to reach people that we probably would not have normally reached. You know, and I still believe that our business is relationships. So you can develop more relationships across social media, but people are not going to look at my social media and say, "Hey, I want to talk to JB." Like, they see stuff, they see that we're real, they see the results that we're getting, then that might attract them, and then we develop a relationship. I still believe that our business is relationship based. I mean, I had a guy tell me years ago, he said, "JB, your net worth will never be larger than your network. You have to network and you have to build relationships." And social media is just a platform, again, just to allow us to meet more people that I maybe normally would not have met, that I can introduce myself to and get to know them.
So basically, you're saying it's easier.
No,
Like we have
it's not easier.
Not easier. I'm saying you have the tools in your hands. So if I were to bring somebody onto my team, they have the tools in their hands. They obviously have to use them. But instead of back before, it's just say COVID, and you guys are door knocking, it's virtual. You have social media you can use to help build a team. So the tools are a lot more attainable. They just would have to work, pretty much, is what you're saying.
I think what we do is we have all the resources in the world for someone to go win at the level that they're willing to go win at. They just have to be resourceful, period.
Yeah.
So we have the tools, the resources to plug them in to get to wherever they want to go. They just have to be resourceful. They're the ones that have to go work. That's why we love college athletes, because they're used to being disciplined, showing up at a workout. They're used to having that work ethic. They're fighting to get to the next level, because the next level, they know that they get paid on a performance. That's why I love being straight commission, because now these athletes can get paid on a performance and not a position. It's like, oh, I didn't come in at the right time in this, business here, so I'm going to go to this other business because I got to go play these political games, and hopefully that person I can snuggle up, take them out to lunch, and they'll promote me because they like me. With us, it's results based. You go out and perform at a high level, you get paid very well, and you up your compensation. I don't dictate how much money you make. I don't dictate what your compensation is going to be. You do, right? So it's about ownership. That's one of our core values, is taking ownership of your business, your life. That's why college athletes do very well, because they're used to working at something and having some delayed gratification.
What do you guys, what would you tell somebody my age, because I'm trying to build a team of the younger generation, what would you guys tell somebody my age that wants to get into this, or they have like a young entrepreneur mindset? What do you think would attract them, or what would, kind of bring them into the business? What is like some advice you would give them?
Well, what would attract them, or what advice would I give them?
Both.
Both.
Hit on both.
I think some of the younger guys are attracted to success. We always have people we look up to, no matter what age you are. And I think if they can see somebody, that they can see themselves being, that they'll chase after that. So I think that may be an attraction factor. The advice I would give them is be coachable. Go to work again.
Yeah.
It don't change.
Yeah.
Like it's really simple.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be coachable. I mean, because we coach hard here. We coach very hard. You've asked me a couple of questions about why'd you do that? But but we're telling you the truth.
Yeah.
I would rather have somebody tell me the truth than skirt away because they don't like confrontation. I like hitting it head on and at least telling it how I see it. I may be 1,000% wrong. I've been wrong a ton. Okay. But at least I'll tell you how I feel, but I think being coachable again, man, if somebody's coachable, man, I can do wonders with them.
Yeah.
I can show them how to get to where they need to go if they'll be coachable and put in the time. Because again, man, our business it's not complicated. It's tough, but it's a very simple business if you really think about it. If you really dial it down and really are explaining this business to somebody, it's simple. But I think it gets into people's head, they overcomplicate it, you know?
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
I always remember this, Mina. There's ones, twos, and threes in the world.
Mm-hmm.
One, he's a winner. He's going to find a way to win. It don't matter what obstacle you put in front of him. He's going to go make it happen, period. A three, they're going to sit there and they're going to complain. They're going to figure out all the reasons that business ain't going to work. They'll tell you everything negative about what's going on. And then there are the twos. The twos are the ones that are coachable, teachable. They got the work ethic. So your career is how many twos you create and let them become a one and not let them drift and become a three. That's why plugging them into a system that's not a personality, but it's a system that helps train people, not a personality.
I was going to ask, how long, because like you said, with your time is important. How long, I guess everybody's different. Like I was different, other people are different. How long do you know before you're like, okay, I'm not gonna waste my time with this person anymore?
30 days, man. If they're not humping it after 30 days, they still got a shot. I mean, we're not going to, hey, can you're gone. We're not going to do that. But I think after 30 days, you'll find out how somebody really is.
They'll show you who they are.
Yeah.
If you just sit around and wait long enough, they'll show you who they are based on their work ethic. Again, you can tell me all day long you want it. You can do this and do that and, come up and pontificate all these beautiful words. But if you're not working, they're just words.
Yeah.
I listened to this guy named Rene Rodriguez. He wrote a book called Amplify. Dude, he's one of the best, psychologist, sales guy I've ever, just listening to him. He's got a great podcast. But he said the problem with sales meetings, like if you go to a sales training, he said the ones that are getting it done, the guys that are and girls that are selling at the highest level, he said they don't say anything. They just sit back. He said it's the ones that aren't doing shit that always have the suggestions, what you should be doing. He said where it should be the opposite. We do a daily coaching call, and we've had people that don't do anything that have a suggestion. Dude, I don't need your suggestions. You're not doing nothing. When you start doing something, hey, I might listen to you if that's working, But again, we're at that mindset now to where, you can spot a fraud from a mile away.
Yeah.
The scoreboard in our business matters every day.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm starting to learn, catch on from you guys. Because now I'm just like, I think my time's valuable too. Like, I'm half your guys' age or 25, whatever, but I'm just like, I'm at that point in my life, like Nick said, I don't want to waste time. So I'm trying to figure out with the people I'm bringing in, really how much time to give them. I'm really not going too much into detail because we have a lot more resources. So that's why I asked you guys, that question about how much time you really can put into somebody.
Well, you spend time with people that deserve it not people that need it. And there's a big difference. So someone who's needy, that needs your time, needy, those are the ones, to Nick's point, the ones that ask all the questions, that they don't do anything. But the ones that are getting it done, and then they're, they've got failure and they're coming back with feedback, those are the ones that you want to spend time with, because they deserve your time.
Yeah.
Respectfully, it's like, I need eyeballs. I don't need ideas.
Yeah.
This works. Like, there's too many people that are successful in our model right now for you to try to tell me that it needs to change, for you to try to tell me, hey, why don't you try this? We need to do this. Okay. When you get to their level, then we can talk about your idea.
Exactly. What would you tell somebody your guys' age that's trying to come into the business? Because again, I think you hit on it. We spoke a couple weeks ago. There's like 6 points. You're in a job or you have a kid, a house. So somebody your guys' age is working to pay the bills. What would attract them to come over to do something like this?
Somebody that's ready for a change. Somebody that's sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's willing to bet on themselves. It's tough for people at our age. I'm 44. It's tough for people over that age of 35 to really take a chance, because life's beat them down. They got that mortgage. They got kids. They may have went through a divorce. They've had a lot of adversity happen, and they lose faith. A kid. You think about a kid, man. When you were a kid, you dreamed of being what? Probably a pro basketball player at one time, right? You dreamed. Don't ever lose that dreaming mentality. Always dream. Always have, those big goals of, I can do this, man. Don't ever get away from that, because, man, it can happen. We overestimate what we can do in a year, but we drastically underestimate what we can do in a 10-year time frame. Dude, you're young. Imagine what 10 years of being consistent in this business will be by adding a person to your team once a month, right? What will life look like down the road in 10 years? So, but people that are our age, man, it's life's hit them. But here's the thing: if they would really wake up and realize it's not too late. It's never too late. I forgot who the guy was, man. It was, man, they were like, it was an actor. I mean, his first big acting deal was like at 60, and he's like a big time famous actor now. I mean, you never know what can happen, man, if you just believe in a dream and keep chasing after it. It's going to happen eventually. JB we were talking the other day. He was like, man, we're just so close to this. We're so close. I was like, man, that's what it's about. That's what winning does.
Yeah.
You get so close, and then boom, you get kicked back. You get so close, and then boom, you get kicked back. But man, I think it's all a setup constantly. It's just preparing you for that next level, right? We weren't ready for what was taking place right now 3 years ago. Hell, we weren't ready for it a year ago, right? But it prepares you along the way for what's to come, man. And like I said, you can learn every single day, through successes and through failures.
Yeah, and like, as part, how do I put this in a question? What do you think you enjoy the most? And then also, I get this question a lot, and I sit there and think about it. I don't really know how to answer it. I have people, what are the cons of this? And I'll sit there and just be like, there's no cons. I don't know, maybe investing into yourself, your own leads. Like, what would you guys say is the most enjoyable thing? And then I don't even think like I said, do you think there's cons? I don't think
I think a con would be, it can be an expensive hobby if you're casual with it. Yeah. If you're very casual with it, you just buy a few leads and think you can book a handful of appointments and make $10,000 a month. I think it'd be a very expensive hobby, because you'll get beat. Yeah. But there's a threshold, and we teach it, so many appointments a day equals X. There's a threshold. If you get past that threshold, man, you get into a whole new world. Yeah. But again, I could sit here, and I believe so much into business, and I love what you're saying is, I don't know if there's any cons, because you believe so much in the business. Yeah. You're almost brainwashed because you believe so much into it. And I think you need to brainwash yourself every day. But I think you need to wake up every day and think yourself happy. Man, because life's tough. Wait till you get married. Wait till you have kids. You'll have so many more responsibilities. Things aren't going to go as planned. But if you have that positive mindset every single day and think yourself happy and get a win early in the morning, whether it be go to the gym or, there's a book, it's called Making Up Your Bed. You know, it talks about getting the wins early in the morning. I don't make up my bed, you know, but you know, I'm in a routine now where I go to the gym, have some successes early on in the morning, set the tone for the day, you know, so you can attack the day versus letting things come to you, you know, having that woe is me and what's bad is going to happen today. You know, what I got to deal. It's just another day, you know. No, have an attitude of, you know, I'm going to get some stuff done today.
Yeah. For negatives, like I said, when you deal with the negative, say in the business or just work or life or anything, I feel like us three, and I'm trying to put it into words. I ask you guys because you guys are better putting stuff together than I am. So, like with a negative, I feel like we all deal with no's all the time. So it's kind of just like immune to it. You just keep going. But like, how do you guys deal with it? Any negative in your life or in the business? Because early on, it's gonna happen. It's always gonna happen. And it's just, I don't know what would I tell my agents. I just tell them, keep your head up and just keep pushing. What is some advice you would give them towards that?
I think the cons in our business is you deal with people. You know,
Yeah.
people will fail you. You know, you're dealing with clients, you're dealing with agents. People will fail you, but you know, if you believe that you're not going to fail yourself. See, I get fulfillment out of, so like I coach Julius, my youngest son in baseball. It's coach pitch. I mean, I'm having a blast because of what I went through with my older son, because their ceiling is so high. Like they're learning and being able to progress in baseball is so high right now. Versus like you go to the high school level, those kids' ceiling, there's only so much more you're going to teach a high school kid to further in fundamentals, right? You just repetition and get them better at it. But like watching Julius' progression, learning the game and all that, I get fulfillment out of progression. Same way with an agent. Like watching you book your schedule up and then watching you now book your schedule up and fix your no-show rate. Then the progression of now you had a great week. Now, all right, I had a great month. Now I'm on my way to sales manager. And I love watching progression with agents because I love people that don't have an insurance license. I love an athlete that says, hey, you mean to tell me I don't have to go work somewhere? Because when I walked across that stage, they didn't staple that $100,000 a year contract to go work for somebody when I got that degree. I'm over here trying to find a job and they're just not out there for me. I like watching that person progress because they're a clean slate and they have a higher ceiling in our business. It's just up to them to go work.
Yeah. Favorite book or what book you're reading right now?
Book I'm reading right now it's called The Standard by Ben Newman.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like a life coach. He's into athletics. He's Michigan State's life coach. He was Kansas State's life coach. He spoke at Alabama several times. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And JB, your favorite book?
Favorite book?
Mm-hmm.
Whew. I
Or
love
book you're reading right now?
the one I'm in right now
Yeah.
is Jason Derulo, 15 Rules of Life. I think it's 15 Rules of Life. Jason Derulo, I listened to a podcast he was on. I was listening to Ed Milet, and I'm like, man, you look at Jason Derulo and you think he's just an artist and plays out music, but man, his mindset, it's awesome.
Yeah.
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 And Today Matters by John Maxwell. That's the book of the month that we're all into right now.
Yeah. How easy is it? So a new agent, the steps, how easy is it for them to go through the course, get licensed, everything like that?
It's simple.
Yeah.
It's not easy because everybody looks, your hard might be somebody's easy. My easy might be someone else's hard. It's simple. You just got to put your mindset to it that I'm going to get this done for myself.
Yeah.
Because the mindset is I get to get this done. I'm going to get this done versus I have to do this. I got to. When you do that, that's negative. Like I have to make up my bed. I got to. Like, no, I get to make up my bed because I'm able to make up my bed. It's a sense of gratitude. It's a sense of thankfulness that I got up this morning.
Yeah. Because my biggest thing, I'm just trying to tap into the younger people our age, just trying to get them going. Because I feel like our generation, nobody wants to work for anybody else and everybody's doing their own little business. So I'm like, you can use this as an avenue to do what you want. It's just like, how does it attract them? The lifestyle or your freedom type deal. So that's what I'm trying to figure
You
out.
attract them by you keep winning.
Yeah.
That's how you attract them. There's some magnet that takes place when you keep winning. Like when I built my business early on, dude, I didn't know what the word recruit meant. You know, wasn't hiring nobody. Dude, I had people coming to me, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, because they heard about it. There was no social media. back in the day when we built our businesses, and it exploded because they had individuals going out and winning. If you keep, I think it's easier now to win in business than it's ever been.
Yeah.
It really is. It's easier now to win in business than it's ever been. It's not saying it's easy as a whole, but it's easier than 20 years ago. You want to know why? Because of what you just said. There's so many lazy people out there. You know, they think that they can start this online business and make all this money. You know, it's easier now because if the right individuals will go to work, man, you're going to beat half the competition by just simply showing up, you know? So I think you just keep winning, man, and you keep developing yourself from a mindset standpoint, from a personal develop standpoint. Your communication is better than it was 60, 90 days ago.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better because you read. Reading allows your communication to be better. It allows your perspective to broaden, and it allows the lens that you see things through to be different. You know, I don't see things now that I saw a year ago. It was completely different, you know? So it's a constant growth mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, what do you think is, if you were to be on a recruiting call and somebody asks you guys, what do you do? In just a few words, what would you say? How simple, or not simple? Simple. Yeah. How would you kind of explain it to them to kind of get them started?
I'd just say I help families protect the worst day of their life.
Yeah.
And then that opens up the conversation. Well, what is that? Well, it's a life insurance policy. That way the family can keep the lifestyle they've grown accustomed to when the breadwinner passes away.
Yeah. What would you say?
Yeah,
Nick?
mine would be, hey man, what we do virtual life insurance sales. Average commission is $500 to $600 a pop. Average guy writes 2 of those a day. You know, we work 3 or 4 days a week. You know, if you're looking from a sales position, you know, you can sell and make really good money doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for people to partner out with and build a team. And I'll just see what they say then. When they say,
Yeah.
what do you mean build a team? And then I'll have a completely different conversation with them, and I'll show them big picture. We got guys now that aren't even through insurance school that are bringing people on their team. And so like me and JB were talking today, is the messaging that we're doing right now is consistent, right? That's our message. You know, not that we're shelving sales by any shape, form of imagination, because what we do is important, so important. I'm just looking for more outlets so we can help more families across the nation, because we're way underinsured in America. I mean, you wouldn't believe the amount of people like we talk to
That's the third
every
time
day
I've heard that today.
that don't have insurance.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Like tomorrow, everybody's got an expiration date. What are you going to do if something happens? And so we're just looking for more outlets, just like Coca-Cola. You know, Coca-Cola, you know, when they first started, you know, they would, you know, bottle the Cokes and they'd sell them, right? And then they got into restaurants. You know, there's fountain drinks in restaurants. Then they put the machines outside the stores. Then they put the machines in businesses. They put the machines in schools. They just have more distribution outlets to sell Coke. That's all we're trying to do. We're just looking for more people to have more outlets to distribute our product.
Yeah.
And if you bring somebody on as a distribution outlet to sell life insurance, you get paid an override commission off what they do. You know, so I check their interest on that and just kind of explain that in a simple way. And if they're interested, man, you know, that way when they come on board, they know that our messaging is, man, it's team building.
Yeah.
It's team building. It's team building. We're not going to treat a sales guy or girl like a second-class citizen by no means. I mean, we parade them every day. You know, we do a list of where people are at, but big picture, you know, from a business ownership standpoint, is team building.
Yeah. And like I was gonna hit on that. I was talking to somebody yesterday about this as well. As far as athletes that played a college sport and now at the end they're looking at what's next, because they've been playing the sport their whole life. And that's something I dealt with as well. I played this whole basketball my whole life. After, I'm just like, now I gotta go to real life. Do I really want to work 9 to 5 for however much an hour? No matter how much work I put in, I'm still gonna make that same amount. So my whole life is being flipped upside down. So really, when I was talking to somebody, it was just like that it was probably the biggest moment in my life. of going from being a former athlete to doing something like this, it was an easy transition because when I go to work a 9 to 5, you're always capped, I guess you could call it. So with this, you can do as much as you can, and that's why I feel like athletes are really well in this business, and I try to bring them on as much as I can. But like a lot of people, mental health went up, and athletes they get depressed after their sport, even after like careers like professional sports, because they don't know what to do next, really. So that's something why I want to bring in more athletes as well into this business. So
Because you think about it, they're used to competing. And then when you go out in life, you're getting beat up and you can't compete. You can't win.
yeah,
It's because you're doing the same old redundancy.
yeah,
So they're used to competing. Now it's like, oh, well, the game of life's just beating me up. That's why they go into depression.
yeah,
But you said it best. It said, when I've talked to somebody. When you talk to somebody, Mina, does your belief level in the business not even go up more every time you talk to somebody? Why is that? Because you start seeing it bigger and bigger picture every time you talk to somebody about the business,
yeah,
because you're excited about it. So every time I talk to somebody, I open my eyes up even more. Like, wow, we do got a great opportunity.
yeah. And I'm not trying to bash Walmart or anything. Every time I go into Walmart, I just feel like you just feel it. Like these people are just not happy, very tired, just got out of work, working 60 hours a week. And it's just like, that's very fortunate to be in this position, to be doing something like this.
I saw a stat recently that said over 65% of employees are not happy with their jobs.
That's insane.
65%. Now, I don't know if that's inflated or what, but I mean, let's just say it's the truth. 6.5 out of 10 people are not happy with their jobs. I couldn't imagine. Life is tough enough. Like when I'm winning in this business, if I have a good day, man, I go home, I'm a better dad. I'm in a better mood. If I have a great week, we have a great month, it puts you in a better, attitude with everybody, so, and then that's not to say that I don't have tough days as well. You go home and you're not the best, but man, I can't imagine something that I was miserable doing. Somebody asked me, have you ever thought about, quitting insurance? I've never thought about quitting insurance. I've never thought about quitting and getting out of this business, because I knew, and I was going to tell you this, dude, you're ruined. Like, you'll never be able to do anything else outside of this business. You may start a second or third business from a cash flow standpoint, but this business will ruin you, because where can you go and have the lifestyle that you have and make the kind of money that you're making right now?
Yeah.
Did you have to put in a pink slip when you went on that cruise and tell us you were going on vacation?
No, I didn't want to go. Okay, I had to go. You guys are telling me just take a break. You got to take a break. You're running hard. But no, I didn't. I just got up and left.
Yeah.
So you don't have X amount of days left over that you can take off the rest of the year?
Not at all. And that's what I'm saying. Like, therapists are in business because of those 9 to 5s. And I'm not trying to bash people that work 9 to 5s. That's their job. Of course, a lot of people love it. But I just couldn't imagine it. It's
fit for certain people. Like my wife could never do what we do.
Yeah.
She's a nurse. She's an employee and she loves it.
She loves it.
Yeah, she loves it. I mean, I'm just saying.
She's a 35%er.
Yeah. I'm just saying for me, and so we're talking about ex college athletes, it's a great opportunity for them to come in and compete and win. You really can win it. And again, man, guys your age, they're looking for something. They're looking for another opportunity. They may already have started a career and may be miserable. We send a lot of Instagram messages to college athletes, and some of them are in sales and some of them are looking for a change. What I love about our business, Mina, is recession proof. Like alcohol, tobacco, funeral homes, and insurance. Dude, anytime the recession is hit, it's never affected our business. Matter of fact, it goes up because we have guys and gals that are in industries that get squeezed where they're not making as much money as they made before, or they lose their job, right? And then they come on board. So that's why our business increased, is because we had more outlets for people to sell insurance with. So yeah, man, it's only the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got as many athletes as I can. I'm trying to build all my former teammates, everybody.
But that's not to say a non-athlete
Yeah, of course.
wouldn't be successful in
Of
this business. I
course,
mean, we got a
yeah.
girl in our office that was a CNA,
Yeah.
you know, making $1,000 a month. And look what she's doing now. You know, you can take the average Joe and you can show them another opportunity. You can show them a whole new world, and you never know what that person can do. You know, just sometimes somebody just wants a shot. Give me a chance. And they're not going out and asking for it. But like I said, the right message to the right person is something that is a lot to be said for. So keep sharing that message. Keep winning. Keep talking to people about it. Look for the no. Look for the no. Let them tell you, no, I'm not interested, you know. But, man, you'll hit that right person, and that right person can lead you to 20 more people.
Yeah, I really do appreciate your time. I know it's valuable. I really do appreciate it. So
Yeah.